Hey everyone, it's Cindy Kaza, and you're listening to the Paranormal Zone.
Look, I know the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Welcome back, friends of the paranormal. Tonight, we had the honor of speaking with the good witch, psychic medium Patti Negri. Friends of the program may recognize Patti from her recurring role on the smash paranormal program Ghost Adventures, and as well as the author of two best-selling books, Old World Magic for the Modern World, and her latest release, Dollcraft, A Witch's Guide to Poppet Magic and Haunted Dolls. Patti's presence in the world of paranormal celebs is ever expanding, as is her capacity for caring, thoughtful, positive, and real psychic readings. You can find any and all things Patti Negri on her website, pattinegri.com, and here she is, the spiritual, the upbeat, and magical Patti Negri. Well, let's just get started. At the risk of maybe repeating questions that you've had thrown at you throughout the years.
No worry.
Yeah. Doing a little bit of research on your background, I found that you have essentially experienced a connection to the, for lack of a better term, supernatural since you were a child.
A little
One
kid.
thing that, yeah, and I even read that you performed your first seance at the age of 8. Is that correct?
7 or 8. I think 7.5. Yeah, it was.
Can you elaborate on that? That is absolutely fascinating.
Sure. For the time I was little, I was insanely shy. And I played in my room a lot and alone, but I talked to spirits. I completely could. And I think kids really can. I think kids have the gift, and it just gets taught out of us in our modern, Western, complete left brain focus, nothing on the everything is about logic. It just didn't get taught out of me. My mom would always go, yeah, grandma did that too. Grandma could see that too. Grandma could go there too. It wasn't evil or dark or devil-y or anything like that. It was just, yeah, it's part of life. But I was obsessed with dead people. It was never dark or morbid, but I knew they had so much to say. So I wanted to do my seance. I was suburban Los Angeles, Long Beach area home. I, didn't even know what it was, but I kind of did know how to do it, just kind of naturally. Went in the little suburban hallway that there was no windows, so I could make it dark in the middle of the daytime with my best friend, Sherry Jones. Realized I really didn't know any dead people. And so I'm thinking Marilyn Monroe, John Kennedy, anybody who I knew at that age, I was dead. And came up with my first chant and the lifting of the veil, and my little dark hallway filled with orbs and shadows and lights and sounds and spirits. And as Sherry and I went running out the door, I was jumping up and down going, this is real. And this is something we can control. Since I was a little kid, I believed that this little 3-dimensional corporeal world is ours, and everything on the other side of it, they run their world and we run ours. And that stood by me all my career of traveling the world to the spookiest places and scariest places and darkest places. Like, this is my world. You have to play by my rules. And having that authority belief system, not with anger, not with fear. So it's always worked for me. And then I've studied it my whole life going, what is this that I see? Study religion, philosophy, science, occult science, metaphysics, to try to, so I could talk in scientific terms or religious terms or paranormal terms. It's all energy.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you fully embraced it even since you were a child.
Yeah.
And you never had any, a lot of people have a sense of fear when it comes to like the unknown or, an afterlife or potentially not an afterlife or death. in general. What would you say to someone if they came up to you and they're like, Patty, I just want to be honest with you. I'm afraid of dying. What would you say to someone when they asked you that?
Well, the first thing I say nothing really dies. Science has proven that. You cannot kill something. It transforms, it changes, but a cell, a plant, nothing dies. You cannot get rid of the energy. And number two, I'd say read one of the 300,000 books of people who died, but then spirit or God or whoever wouldn't let them die and they came back. Almost every one of them didn't want to come back. It was beautiful. I saw the light. There was my grandma. And so, and then tell them the fact that I have talked to spirits my entire life and they are fine. Death is hardest on those left living. Dead people are fine. They don't have to deal with time and space and meat suits. And most of them really like that. There is a few stuck. There's a few shades, ones that haven't crossed over. But as a rule, I don't think ghosts are stuck. They're hanging out because they want to. They want to watch the kids and grandkids grow up. Even the ones that we go to the insane asylums and we go to the prisons, they hang out there. They're not being tortured as a rule, but that's the life they knew. And they go back. Yes, there is some places where something bigger and badder is holding them down. The Cecil Hotel for one, Black Dahlia House for one. And many other places, but as a rule, they're there because they want to, and they can, and they could be, if there's no time and space, they could be reincarnated if they want, they could be dancing in the pearly gates if they want, and they could be hanging out at their favorite spot.
Complete freedom and the freedom of choice of what they do, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's coincidental for sure that you brought up the Black Dahlia house, because Mike had a specific question he wanted to ask you.
Well,
regarding that.
It wouldn't. Oh, pardon. It wasn't a specific question, but ever since I was little, the Black Dahlia story has just fascinated me. And it's not like I've done a lot of study and research into it, but I was just wondering what your take was on that, and any experiences that you had dealing with that investigation and everything. And
I have had some good ones. I definitely think it was the Dr. George Hodel who lived there. I think he was woman-hating, masochistic, and I think he killed a lot more women than just Elizabeth Short. A lot of them were like girls of the evening and stuff, people that just didn't get noticed or missed, sadly, because I have talked to several spirits in that house. I've probably been there more than a lot of people doing different television shows or different things. I've done 2 seances at the house. Doing both paranormal shows and then not paranormal shows, looking into the paranormal, and they're wondering, why is our cameras draining? Well, I remember one show, it was a real estate show, but it was about the Black Dahlia. And they just could not figure out why the equipment all went haywire. And then they set up craft services, the snacks, basically the food for TV set, movies. They set everything up in the scary, dark, dirt basement. It's like, can't you guys just feel this? No, I don't want any M&Ms or carrot sticks. And something going up that first time just pushed me so hard into a picture. I was worried about hurting some beautiful art. And then I did a ghost adventures there where I actually channeled George Hodel, and I was with Fauna Hodel, who was one of his last remaining relatives, the daughter of what I can't think of her mom's name right, but the one that's given away and stuff, and it's just crazy. And then what we got there, and I channeled him, and I felt the darkness and evil. And then not the podcast I had now, but I had a really short-lived, because my producer got so scared she quit. Podcast called Magic Hour. So instead of witching hours, and it was kind of combining true crime with seances. Great concept. I may do it again. I'd worked.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'd worked with my producer for years, and she loved paranormal. She'd come to all my seances. She just loved it. We were doing Black Dahlia. And I had a dear friend recently passed away, Linda Deutsch, like the most famous woman, Associated Press reporter. She got famous on Charles Manson. The OJs, all of them. She knew everybody, had home phone numbers of all these crazy people. So we had a bunch of stuff from her on that. And my producer, before everybody got over, and I had a bunch of stuff from George Hodel, and I've worked with Steve Hodel, his son, who was LAPD, who's also sure he did it. But I hadn't set up my words and protections yet. My producer was there, nobody else. So we were using the Ouija board, which I've used safely since I was 8 or 7. But I hadn't set up my protections, and she always wanted to talk to her friend. And we used it like you were texting. That's how we use it. It's like, but I had not set it up right or set up my words and stuff. So all of a sudden we're going, this is not your friend talking. It was George Hodel. He pushed me so hard. I was leaning over a chair, not even sitting down yet. So hard. I heard this crack, crack, crack. Like my ribs. I'm like, oh my God, he broke my ribs. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, no. And I always say I'm okay. I could have a severed arm. I'm like, it's a flesh wound. I'm okay.
It's a flesh wound. I love that.
Not, but I was like sliding to the floor. I had to go to urgent care. He had, I guess being a doctor, you know how to do it. He slid me so hard. He'd ripped all the cartilage off my ribs and floating ribs. A month or two of ridiculous pain. Then the stuff we got was so insane. We had some ghost equipment. It was so insane. My producer quit the next day.
Oh,
like,
man.
What? This was really, and had everything erased. And like, this was really good. She would not. She got off social media.
Oh, no.
Oh, I know. And like, really, I would do it. You could take your name off it, but she had it erased. She even talked to the camera people. So that was kind of sad. But I mean, I felt for her. You don't want to live in terror.
Oh, of course.
And so that he's dark and he's evil, and he has created something bigger than himself. He is holding the Black Dahlia there and some other girls. We crossed over. You never saw it on Ghost Adventures, but we did cross over one girl, Fauna Hodel. Again, her mother had on her deathbed. Her mother was on her deathbed when we were there filming, and she and I had become friends just because we had become friends. I think she had wanted to meet me because of another show she saw me on, and we just became dear friends. And then all of a sudden we're both doing Ghost Adventures together, which she had promised her mom. Her mom had promised this one spirit, a not famous Elizabeth Short, that she would help her. So we did that. And we crossed over this girl. We all felt it. Zach, Aaron, the whole crew. We all knew that exact moment. I don't think any of that ended up on camera. It didn't fit with the whole through line of the show, which was fine. But her mother was able to pass away soon after because that's what she was waiting to do. Sadly, Fauna, they did a whole movie about her. AMC did a film, but sadly, there's so much curse stuff there. She didn't even live to see the display of her show, directed by Patty Jenkins, amazing director. So there's so much dark attached to that. It's like, and I want to help her so bad, but it would take a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's strong, dark force who probably did some really dark magic, dark stuff with the painter.
Yeah, it's
probably a place that we wouldn't want to go visit, Patrick. I suppose.
Yeah.
put that on the long list.
No, we should go.
I know that would be awesome.
No, we would go. Yeah.
Yeah, we've ventured to a couple of potentially haunted locales. I mean, and it is as it's exciting. And, even if you don't capture any quote unquote evidence, it's always an experience, and we're open to checking out any and all places. But you had mentioned the big title, the ever popular Ghost Adventures. And I bring it up because, not shockingly, a lot of our listeners are big fans of Ghost Adventures. I mean, it's an unbelievable success. Hats off to Zach, for the empire he's built, essentially. How did you come about becoming a part of the show? I mean, that has to be such a cool experience for you.
Yeah, it's cool because basically I've done 2 episodes a year for 10 years. That's pretty great for a very boy-oriented school, like 20 episodes, which is great. I never know where I'm going and never know what I'm doing, but it almost happened by accident. They were filming in Hollywood. The first time was 2015, and they were filming at the American Legion Hall in Hollywood, Haunted Hollywood. And I'm on the board of the Hollywood Arts Council. I do a lot of nonprofit work. And every Halloween, I do a spirit salon, not a regular ghost hunt. Everybody's dressed in almost formal wear. My husband's jazz band plays, but we walk people through. But while I was, and do baby ghost hunt. for dressed up people.
Sure.
But while I was there, I was like talking to Charlie Chaplin and I could do all of these big in life, big in death. Bob the Quiet Banker is Bob the Quiet Ghost. Big old movie stars and all that are big ghosts. So I was sitting, when all of a sudden Ghost Adventures and the guy who ran the American Legion said, yeah, there was just this woman here. She's a medium. She was talking to Charlie Chaplin in the exact chair that he sat in like every night or every Friday night for years. And unbeknownst to me. So that's why they brought, like they do almost every show, that one, either a local psychic or medium who's experienced something, or a local person who experienced, and then you do one episode and you're gone. But we just hit it off so much. And I think the Black Dahlia came soon after, and Reseda House came soon after, and Chatsworth. It's great. They started, if they needed somebody real witchy, or if they needed a medium, or they needed somebody to lift the veil, because they figured out I'm really good at that.
Absolutely.
It's an adventure always. It's like, I never know where I'm going. If I actually do know, like I sent them to Reseda House. I've sent them a couple places going, some of them I'm not even episodes going, this is really haunted legit, because I tried to clear it and can't, or I've done investigations there. They trust me. So he won't have me go into, okay, and now I experience a dead baby here. He only lets me go into places I don't know the history. So even like with the Cecil Hotel, or they'll throw me on a plane and I have an address, and then I go in. I'm always scared to death. I'm always like, what if I get in and I get crickets? I get nothing. I got what it could happen.
Sure.
I mean, it hasn't so far. I think because everything is so vetted, they don't go to non-haunted places. It's like, oh yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Now, okay. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this as well. Oh, that rhymed. Remiss if I didn't ask this.
I like it.
Yeah. And this will be the last question about Ghost Adventures.
I love the guy.
I know I'm a fan of him, but he's polarizing to a sense, to the paranormal community. I don't know if it's just some people like they always, you kind of shoot your arrows at the person on the top type thing,
Yeah,
but you hear all this kind of, I think it's gibberish about Zach being so domineering and bossy towards Aaron and the crew and stuff. Can you perhaps set the record straight on that?
I have never, ever seen that. Again, I think I've done the show more than anybody who's not the four main guys. No, they are bros. They are best buddies. Yes. Zach is intense. He's the reason that they're in like season 900, is because he's committed every reason that everybody makes fun of him. See like 8-year-olds on the playground, and they're committed and they're in their story. That's how these guys are. They give 120%. They're not phoning anything in. They're not faking anything. It's all real. They are big. That's who they are. And the reason they make fun. They have never been anything but respectful and funny and nice. It's old school. It's even though now it's a bigger show and there's more of a crew, it's still everybody do everything. I grew up in community theater where, well, yeah, you're starring in the show, but you got to move the lights and you got to sew your own damn costume. That show is still like that. Aaron, pick up this light and bring it over here. Billy, go get this equipment. Talk to Jeff, talk to whatever. And he is intense because he's starring in it. He's executive producing it. He is directing it. He's got his vision. So more power to him that he could do that. I've never seen him be mean or anything. I don't know where people get that. I don't. It's weird.
He's got that extreme passion that just is always
passion. That's all it is, which is again why they're still there.
Yes. Yeah. I have to, and I will speak on behalf of a brother of mine. I have 4 older brothers. One of them has joined us on the show every now and then as another co-host, but he is a drama instructor. He has a master's degree in theater. And so I just wanted to throw that out. I can speak for him that he appreciates you growing up in community theater right there. When you said that just jumped out to me. It's like, oh, cool. Awesome. Yay. Theater people. Yay.
Yeah. And again, that's why, this is not the world I chose. I ran a production company for 20 years. I was an actor, and then I decided I was too old for acting. And so I'll produce, I'll hire myself. And I ran a very corporate production company. I came into this kicking and screaming because the corporate production company crashed in 2008 when corporate entertainment became a dirty word. I was doing worldwide shows and reality TV was going like this. And somebody knew my private life. my magical world, my spiritual world, my seance. And they're like, we need you to do a seance on a reality show. I'm like, no, thank you. My private life. I appreciate it, but can't. Well, no. My clients who run major banks, Fortune 500 companies cannot know I talk to dead people and cannot know I dance around bonfires in a cloak. You can't. Please, no. And I'm looking at my empty calendar going, well, what's the name of the show? And literally it's called Mobile Home Disaster, and it's on country music television. I'm like, who would watch that? Nobody I know would watch that. Maybe I could do it, and it was the most thrilling thing I had ever done. I got to help a human little girl that everybody thought was crazy because she was drawing portals on the ceiling of her motorhome. I'm like, no, there are portals on the ceiling of a motorhome. I got to help a spirit cross over. It was kind of stuck. And equally important, I got to open the minds of the Southern Bible Belt cast and crew that this isn't dark, this isn't evil, this isn't anything negative. This is beautiful. And I'm like, this is really fun, but never again. And then when it aired 2 months later, it's like, this was fun because I know camera. I know how to not speak to the back of camera, talk in complete sentences, not
sure.
But my very first phone call the next morning was my biggest corporate client, a national client. Hi, Patty. Hi. I saw you on television last night. Oh,
ooh.
Yeah. I didn't know you were into the paranormal. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, damn, I've loved it. And she goes, I love the paranormal, and proceeded to give me her first ghost story. I'm like, what the heck am I doing?
Oh, nice.
I'm out of the psychic medium closet. I'm out of the paranormal closet. I'm out of the broom closet, and I haven't looked back. I don't even have time for the production company anymore. It's like, this is so much more fun and fulfilling. So much.
That's
more.
awesome.
Yeah.
Patty, how would you, if there is a way to define a ghost, and we all know that there isn't really one, what is your personal interpretation of a spirit, of a ghost? I mean, what are they to you? Some people believe they are the leftover, the energy of those who have passed. Others believe they are separate entities altogether. What would a ghost or spirit be to you?
In my experience, it is the spirit, soul, energy of the person who was a living person. That's why I think most of them aren't stuck. I don't believe there's time and space on the other time. So again, my belief system is the afterlife is almost that of the ancient Sumerians. I have a school where I teach the ancient Sumerians, which kind of believe you kind of get the afterlife you believe in. So if you're going for the pearly gates, you'll get the pearly gates. But again, if there's no time and space, you could also watch the grandkids grow up and then be reincarnated at the same time. No time and space. But I think ghosts are spirits. We just don't have the meat suit. We don't have the time and space. I think there is, and they were living beings. There's that's not residual haunting. That is something more like the lady in white who walks by every hour. That ghost isn't doing that. That's like video almost. Something right. So strong happened, not residual haunting, and not the everything else category. To me, the everything else category is the everything that wasn't human. That's getting into elemental spirits, angelic realm, demonic realm, if you want to go there, the animal realm, all of that, things that were never human. So all of that's on this other side of the veil.
Wow, that's fascinating to me. Have you ever had we know that you are someone who focuses on the positive, and happiness and joy, which is fantastic.
Peace, love, and compassion.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, let me ask it this way: have you ever had let's say a client? I have two questions in my brain, so I'm going to ask this one first. Have you ever had a client come to you who has a 190% non-believer, a pseudo-skeptic, a cynic, whatever you want to call them, and then after they've experienced something or after they've had their session with you, they've walked out an absolute believer that there is something else out there besides this physical existence?
Yeah, of course. It happens a lot at seances. Or did I tell you my seance fire story before? That's my best one.
Oh my gosh, please share it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's a house I live in the Hollywood Hills. It's the oldest neighborhood. It's under the Hollywood sign. My house was built in 1920. It's half little bungalows like mine and half movie star mansions. It was the first Hollywood enclave. There's a house.
A lot of history there.
Yeah. Beautiful history. The house down the street was built by Charlie Chaplin. Again, he keeps coming back in my world.
He comes back, yes.
One of his many girlfriends because he built a lot of houses and he had a lot of girlfriends. It looks almost like it was built by Masons, sacred geometry everywhere. There literally is a compass drawn in the entry floor. And, with magic and ritual, you always work off a compass, let it have, it's like, oh my God, this is like a Masonic lodge, just built for ritual. It was a total party house, the 20s and 30s and 40s. And they knew how to party in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Insane party house. And no judgments, but that really can bring in a dark element. Crazy, just insane party house stuff happened.
That's
then they
interesting.
moved out, and then the Rolling Stones manager bought the house. So the Stones stayed there, Mamas and Papas, Graham Parsons. So again, very party house,
Wow.
creative,
Yes.
chaotic, high vibration people, creative people, not dark or light, just big energy people. They had it for years. Then they moved out, and then the person who invented the real life sex doll moved in. Finally got too spooky for him. It's so haunted. And the sexual energy and all this energy, he moved out. And then my neighbor, Marilyn Manson, moved in.
Oh, man.
And
there's so many decades and decades of energy building and building.
Yes.
And he loved the house. He used to record in the dirt basement. It's always the dirt basement. Wherever you go, Black Dahlia House, it's the dirt basement. But anyway, so we were doing a seance there. Somebody was doing a documentary about the house. They called it the Mary Astor House. That's who Mary Astor House. And just, it's insane history. I was doing a seance, and around the table was very, very young people. When you're past puberty, but not too far into your 20s, you have a lot of life force. That's why like poltergeist activity happens with young and teens. It's so much life force. My table was filled with that. They knew what they were going into, not like one of my public seances. I will keep out the dark energy. I'm not keeping out anything. So I felt there was certain spirits there, but this one kid, just maybe because he was on TV or filming, we had a 4-camera shoot, pretty good size shoot. He kept getting disrespectful. He was being an idiot. He would say stuff. And then there was one spirit getting very mad. And I felt the energy coming in, and all of a sudden the French doors flew open and everybody's screaming. And the producer side of me is going, wow, this is cool. I'd never fake anything, but this is legit. And then he said something else stupid, and it happened again. And then he said something stupid, and I'm feeling the room coming in on us. And I'm like trying to keep it in control, but we're going for it. I'm not shutting it down because that's what we're here for. And then he said something else stupid, and the speaker came on. In old school, it wasn't how little can your speaker be. It was how big can your speaker be? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
How big, and it was like, came on. It sounded just like a spirit box, white noise. We looked later, it wasn't even plugged in, but it was like a spirit came. But again, this tension is building and tension is building. Were we using a spirit board? He said something really stupid. Again, something that had happened in the 20s or 30s in this dirt basement, something bad. And not him, you guys, but the cameraman facing him burst into flames. Like
whoa.
Up his back, like angel wings of fire up his back. 2 cameras caught it on camera. One camera started filming the ceiling or the floor. You test the metal and strength of a cameraman with a small room with a lot of people bursting into flames. The poor cameraman is wondering why everybody is screaming at him, pointing at him as he's figuring out me, cool witch medium Patti, becomes medic Patti, and I'm an EMT1. I'm certified cardiology tech, because you got to be. I'm like drop and roll, and I'm calling in all my guardians. Like, this is not okay. I've never stopped filming in my life, but this is not okay. He could die. I'm watching his shirt burnt off him like it was synthetic. It was a cotton. It should not have burnt off like a nylon or polyester. I'm looking the blistering on his back. I'm like, drop it. This is not okay. And I'm shutting it down. How I open the veil, I shut it down. Worked with my wards, my guards to shut it down. And I'm like, I can't do it. This is not okay. But the cameraman, who was a super skeptic, and a filmmaker of his own right, was so intrigued by spontaneously combusting like movie Spinal Tap. He's like, no, I'm okay. I have a sweater. I could take off the shirt. I have a sweater. I am okay. I'm like, you got to go to the doctor because this is bad. These are like second, third degree. You have to go. I talked to the ghost and made it try to calm down. It still did horrible things. Not that horrible, but we got it to do. I'm like, we're not even going to get rid of you. So glasses flying out of cupboard. They try to push that poor cameraman off the cliff in his car because I live in Hilly. But anyway, I knew the kid was not going to be an issue anymore because he was like shivering in the corner. Okay, you're not going to be disrespectful anymore. I talked to the spirit, kept more protection up. We finished the seance, got lots of information. But the crazy part that turns us into like, you got to know what you're doing and how cool this is 3 weeks later, the cameraman, he sent me a picture. First, he goes, Patty, look at my back where the fire, and it totally looked like he had went and got a tattoo of a dragon on his back.
For real. Wow.
Sharp teeth, winged head into the shape of a serpent. You guys, that is the exact energy I called in to shut down the seance. I work dragon energy. Scary, huh? I work dragon everywhere.
Wow.
Dragons. I work dragon. And I'm looking at his back. I'm like, oh my God, you have a tramp stamp of a dragon on your back. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. He thought so too. He actually, they haven't done it yet. He wrote a movie basically about me, about this TV medium who does every TV show and doing yet another reality show. And then a portal opens and then it becomes one of those spooky, scary, horror films that I love. He wrote it actually with Stephen Norrington, the guy who wrote League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and the Blade series.
Oh, wow.
I hope somebody fabulous pays me. Fabulous. But if they do it, but they haven't. But I did. And this is like looking to Hollywood and look at how everybody's on TV now and everybody has a YouTube channel and everybody has my paraphrase. I sat down with him for 5 hours and I go, Lauren, you can't say that on camera. He's like, you said it. I go, I know I said it, but that actually does something. It shifts the energy. It opened a pocket. It opened a veil. You don't want to be one of those cursed horror films, do you? It happens all the time. All the time. Like, I go, a spirit and energy, good or bad, doesn't know the difference of an actor saying lines that you're opening a portal to something versus the real things. So I changed all the words. They sound as spooky or as mystical or as but without opening up a portal to hell. So if they ever do it, it won't be cursed. It'll be really funny and really scary. And somebody fabulous can play me.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. Well, it's going to need somebody fabulous to play you.
Yeah, exactly. But so you got to, going on stuff. It is real. It is legit. So know what you're doing. Who are you going to call if you get scared? Work within your belief system, work within your religion, have your crucifix, have your Star of David, have your helm of have whatever, remember the Lord, whatever that is, because it's going to happen.
So, Patty, again, as per always, time flies. Can you stick around for like 10, 15 more minutes here? I have, again, my professional notes are just loaded and I feel like I barely even scratched the surface.
I'm yours. I'm flying off to Ohio tonight. Yeah,
I wanted to ask. Okay, perfect. Very briefly, I wanted to throw this out there. Longtime listeners to our podcast know that there's a specific reason that Mike and I have gotten into hosting this podcast and why we've become so even more passionate about the paranormal. We had an experience back in 2007, a long time ago. That is, to us, you cannot debunk it no matter what you do, and we've tried.
Yeah.
It's as brief as we can say. It's an EVP that is clear as day, and it's responding to us, and we are in the background. You hear us talking. We're walking down the steps into the basement. You hear our voices fade. We're gone. No one's in the house. There's a recorder going on the island there in the kitchen. And it answers clear as heck to what we were casually talking about as we go down the steps. And the answer absolutely fit the tragic story
100%.
behind this house. It was a little girl, 3 years old, who tragically got killed by a garage door that fell on her.
Wow.
And her name was Debbie, and we've shared this on the podcast before. And
this was back in the
Mike
70s that this happened.
when she passed away. Yes.
Yeah.
And Mike and his then partner, every day they would wake up with all their cupboard doors open in the house for whatever reason, and we're talking about it. We're saying, well, what could do this and what could do that? And we jokingly say, well, this isn't this. Okay, we're debunked. We walk away and you clearly hear, it's Debbie. That's our EVP. And it fits the story.
A woman's voice.
I don't know if a woman's voice.
Very calm.
Very calm. And we still can't figure out whom it could have been from. What is there any vibe you get from that at all? Was it something that was meant for us? Were we meant to hear that? Was someone reaching out to Mike? I mean,
well, I
don't mean to put you on the spot, but Mike lived there, and it's just something that was so profound, and that's why we're here right now.
Yeah, no, you were supposed to have it, and look what you've become of that. The universe, the spirits, whoever works in very mysterious ways. You had a question for it, and when you're open to the paranormal, when you're open to this stuff, they're gonna talk to you again. Like if you're a disembodied spirit or whatever, and you see some super skeptic, they're going, whatever. And you see your next neighbor who's just an unconscious zombie. They're going, and they go, these guys are open. This is what they're intuitive. They have this or that. That's where they're going to go, of course. So you were supposed to hear it. Whether it was Debbie, herself, it was a woman's voice, and it was a 3-year-old girl. In my experience, people, they don't have time and space. I've seen spirits develop, like a dead twin will develop with their twin. I think they have that choice.
Interesting.
I also think that if somebody dies as a baby or even in utero, like abortion or a miscarriage, they will show themselves at least a toddler. Because how do you show yourself a fetus or a newborn? You don't. That's why there's so many little children at haunted places.
See, I can totally relate to that with my wife's uncle or brother that would have died, a stillborn, and also her daughter that was died. Well, what I had come to feel that this was a daughter, that she had lost a girl, but I had seen them, and I'd seen them at more of a like her brother at a preteen age, and the girl was like at a 3-year-old age, and it was so clear, and just the feelings and the energy coming from that was amazing. So even stillborn, whatever, it's that energy is it's huge.
Life force,
it's there.
Yeah. And if there's no time and space, so we're not going to get a lot done as a fetus or an infant or anything like that, and get to where there's some thought process, there's some action, there's some movement.
And Mike has had some profound experiences. I guess I can segue to a question again. Do you believe that some people are more apt or more prone to experience the paranormal compared to others? Because Mike, and I don't think you mind me saying this, Mike, you've almost lived a haunted life. It's every place he's gone, and I'm not joking, he's had paranormal experiences. And then there's me over here going like, hello, I want something too, and it doesn't seem to really happen as much. But do you think some people are more apt to those experiences?
I think paranormal experiences are everywhere, but just even like I just said, they're going to go to the person that they can see them or sense them or more open. You're open to them, and you're actually more intuitive than but you overthink, Patrick. And as soon as you throw it into your logical left brain, you're going to shut it down. Like, wow, Grandma's standing behind me. Oh no, just somebody opened. You're shutting it down. You just got to get rid of logic, let that go, let your right intuitive side or your heart take over. And then you start seeing it that much too. But yes, some people are. It's like you lead with your heart. You lead with that energy.
Yes. Yeah.
I got the chills when you said that, because Mike has told me that so many times. I've heard it so much. It's like, stop trying to be quote unquote logical about what you just experienced, Yeah, that was awesome that you said that.
The ongoing joke is that I will have to die first, and when I do, I'm going to come to him right away, and I'm going to slap him right in the face. And there's your wake up. But I'm a lot
Yeah.
like you with when you had that support from your family growing up, and
Mhm.
I did the same thing. The first full figured apparition that I saw, I was maybe 11, 12, at home alone, and it was New Year's Eve. I was watching Midnight Special on the Queen Mary. I remember it so well, and I saw this girl come through the living room, and I just watched her. And when my mom and dad got home, I didn't get scared or anything. But when they got home and I started explaining this to them, what I had seen, and right away my dad's like, "Well, did you try to talk to her?" So
Yeah.
that's the kind of support that I had growing up through my entire life of, and going back even younger than that, hearing the stories from my grandparents and great grandparents about things that have happened. It's like a generational thing going
Yeah,
back.
generational. Yeah, and we all have different gifts and different abilities. I do believe people can develop it. That's why I started my school. I teach mediumship development, psychic development, whatever, how to tap into it, because it's like a language. You learn everybody's language is going to be a little different. How you see with your outside eye, you see with your third eye, or you just know, or you sense, or you feel. That's all clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, but everybody can learn to do it. Differing degrees, though. Like everybody can
Right.
learn to play piano. Not everybody's going to be a concert pianist,
Sure.
but everybody can learn the basics.
What are your
I
thoughts
can play a
on?
kazoo. That's about it.
Right. What are your thoughts on signs from nature? I believe in this wholeheartedly, and even if I quote unquote experience one, again, my brain's like, well, maybe it wasn't it. And I had one not that long ago. I shared it on the podcast before. Let's just say, I wasn't feeling too good about stuff in life, and I was just I was concerned about a few things, maybe mortality was involved in it for various reasons, and I just happened to be in a moment of quiet, and I was outside, and then I still don't know where it came from. Just a beautiful, large monarch butterfly just came and floated right in front of me, and it just started. It was just floating there, right in front of me, up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm looking. I was like, okay, and then it just kind of drifted off, and that I felt relieved. And I don't know how to explain that. And I'm like, and then I asked Mike immediately after that. It's like, do you think this was a sign from someone? I mean, what are your thoughts and experiences like
100%
that?
yes. You're tapping into my
Yeah.
belief system and my religion now. It's
Yeah.
about us,
Yes.
because the one thing we are, whatever, we are on this earth. We are corporeal beings. So nature talks to us. That's why I work the air and the fire, the water, the earth, and this nature spirits. Yes, nature. I teach people like, yeah, grandma's going to come to you in a red bird or this or that. Today, I would go up to Lake Hollywood every day. We work out, and I needed. We asked for signs. Oh, we saw a turtle. Okay, what does a turtle mean? Okay, we saw a coyote. Oh, I need some trickster coyote medicine for what I'm doing. Yeah, nature is more than happy, whatever title you want to give that, to give you signs.
Mm-hmm.
Monarch, beautiful butterfly, great, shift, change. Again, the caterpillar into the butterfly. It works that air element, the fire. You got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And like I said, I don't think it was a coincidence that I felt like a sense of calm and a sense of happiness just immediately after seeing that. That wasn't a coincidence.
Go with what your heart tells you, what you feel. You feel that inside. I mean, that's
Yep.
have more trust in it.
Do you think, Patty? Do you believe? And I know we have to let you go here in a few minutes. Do you see the world as becoming more open to the afterlife? I mean, as compared to maybe generations past, you see. I mean, maybe it's an example and kind of like the flux of paranormal programming. It kind of had that big boom, a decade or so ago. And do you feel like, as a whole, maybe the population is becoming more open to the idea that there is more to this than just, as you say,
I think
what's
for
here?
a couple of things about it. Yes, it is, because more and more stuff is happening. The veil is thinning between the worlds. More and more what we used to call unexplainable weird things, hauntings in houses, dolls being, that's more and more. Another thing that I think why the paranormal is not going to go away, network does it, network does it. That's why we started things like whatever. But, times are scary. We know that. Whatever your politics, are we going to get blown up tomorrow? Times are scary.
Sure. Yes.
Traditionally, when times are scary, people will go back to their faith. They'll go to church, they'll go to temple, they'll pray, whatever that is. that some people are. That's not holding up for everybody, like whatever reason, that's not holding up. So that's why the increase in more alternative releases, just crystals, new age. Witchcraft is the largest growing religion in America right now. It's an empowering thing, working with nature, mother nature, moon cycles. But some people, I don't want religion, and I don't even want that woo-woo stuff, and I don't need to talk to a tree, but I'm still scared because we don't know if China or Russia or the aliens are going to blow us up tomorrow. I want to know if I get blown up tomorrow, I'm going to be okay. They want to go on a paranormal investigation. They want to go on a ghost hunt. So it's like they go to a convention, they go to whatever, and then they do it. And then wow, it is real. They have an experience like you guys. And then oftentimes I go, okay, if I get blown up tomorrow, I'm okay. I'm not ended. And then often they will backdoor into a religion or a belief system that will help support them. To me, your belief system, however you create it, is to navigate life, to navigate afterlife, whatever that is. So that's why paranormal's not going anywhere.
No, absolutely. And I think that's a great thing, by the way.
I do too.
Obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
Patti, and again, it would be a mistake on my part not to bring up. You are a best-selling author. I mean, how did that awesome book of yours come to be, and what was it like writing? I mean, was that something that you enjoyed doing, or was it a bit of a struggle, or I mean, how was that experience for you?
My first one, Old World Magic for the Modern World. This is talking about that nature stuff, because I work with people, I always have, and I would look at people, it's like, oh my God, we are so out of balance. The world is out of balance. Everything's out of balance. And it's like, and nature brings back balance. So I was teaching them, yeah, it's great to meditate for an hour, but I don't have an hour to meditate. I have 30 seconds. I'm going on the show with Mike and Patrick. Yep. And so I work elementally. Wait, that's your water element. Run your hands underwater. You release the emotion. Wait, you're not grounded. Hug a tree. You can't hug a tree. Grab a pencil. That number 2 pencil still has the spirit of the tree. Oh, wait, you need some more fire. You've got too much. You're angry or agitated, or you're just asleep at the wheel. Dance around a bonfire. You can't dance around a bonfire. Do some sounds that bring in that dry. So I wanted to make a book of super simple life hacks for people. Why a pinch of salt in your toilet makes you get rid of illness, or magical things that Spirit has showed me over the years in a super simple book. So I self-published that 5 years ago, and it's been a bestseller. This year, I just released this. I wanted all the stuff about doll. Everybody look at all the stuff. Annabelle right now. I'm a doll expert because I've been collecting dolls since the day I was born. If I turn my camera around right now, there's hundreds of eyes. Look, my haunted girl's behind me. My Barbies everywhere else. None of my Barbies are haunted. She's too much of a goddess, I guess. But everything else, everything good. So, and I wrote my new book, which is doing really well, released everywhere, is called Dollcraft. About haunted dolls and magical puppets. I literally combined my two haunted dolls because everybody wants one now, and they can hurt you. You have to know the care and feeding and proper acquisition so you don't get ripped off on eBay or Etsy by some designer has 912 haunted dolls with a really good story. Maybe they're a good writer. Here's how to create one, find one in a thrift store, whatever. So I wanted it on haunted dolls to put my paranormal world, but then also my witchy empowerment. Half the book is about magical puppets, which are dolls used in magic. Most people mistake them for like a voodoo doll because it's like a little gingerbread doll, but I have one that represents me. Say if I get a headache, I'll stick a pin in my doll's head and my headache goes away. It's a sympathetic magic. So this book got to combine my paranormal world and my witchy world all through dolls. Because,
fantastic.
If you spirit, you want to go in a toaster or something with eyes and nose and ears and face. You do.
That is fantastic. I love that.
It's got released in June and doing crazy good.
Crazy. Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Where? Okay, I want to get back to that before we wrap it up. I had another very quick, I don't want to say personal question, but I saw a clip of you on TikTok, and it blew me away because I'm always someone who when I go to bed, I always have to have a glass of water. I always have a glass of water next to me, and I tend to have some pretty vivid dreams. A lot of them can be a little like, I don't want to say frightening, but they're powerful. and I tell Mike about him quite a bit too. And the clip that I saw of you on TikTok, you were talking specifically about going to bed with a glass of water next to you. I mean, what? Briefly share what you were
Right.
talking about there.
I call it dream school. Water is 70% of our body plus. We are made of water.
Yes.
Water is chargeable. Science is caught up with this. Like all that science, like if you're angry with water, it'll freeze ugly. If you're happy by it'll do sacred geometry. Water is chargeable. We could put our intent into a glass of water. So when I came up with Dream School, it's like, okay, I want to develop I want to talk to grandma. What is the meaning of life, or what outfit should I wear tomorrow? You are literally giving the universe, whatever you believe in, permission to download you while you're asleep. And your chatty left brain isn't in the way, Patrick. It'll come in dreams or in downloads. But in the morning, I have these little techniques in the morning. Grab a pen, get up 10 minutes early, ask for clarity, focus, and direction, go back to sleep. You'll wake up with it. It's all in my first book. One of the main reasons I wrote that. But now water is so chargeable. But just don't drink it if it's open. If you have to drink it by your bed, have it in a sealed thing. Have it, or a plate over the glass, or a bottle with it closed, because it collects everything, emotions, spirits. Yeah, like that. But your water can be charged for whatever. If you have trouble sleeping, make insomnia water. Everything that keeps me awake instead goes into the water glass. Muscle twitches, overactive brain, doesn't matter. It goes, and then you throw it out in the morning. It's a glass of tap water. If you have pain or chronic pain, my pain instead goes into the water. It works. It is, again, this is the future of medicine, both regular medicine and everything else. And I love that science is catching up with magic. That's why I follow cycles and tapping into it. So charge that water with whatever you want, preferably a glass, not plastic if you can. Throw it out in the water. Don't drink that water, and charge it to do whatever you want.
That is absolutely fascinating. I love that.
Thanks.
So, like,
go ahead, Mike.
Like this, the energy and the healing and things like that, and getting rid of these things. I've been studying pretty deeply Reiki.
Nice.
And now, is there anything that might go together with what you do? You know, like, is there like that white energy, that healing white light?
It's all energy, and it's all directable energy. Right. I do have my own technique. It's not Reiki because I haven't trained under a Reiki master, but it's the same thing. Somebody else, Christian Church will call it healing of hands. Somebody else will call it this.
Exactly.
I've just done it so naturally since I was a kid. Everybody, look, you start, build that energy. You feel it. Put it on your head. Reiki is a beautiful art form, a beautiful medicine and magic. Yeah. So I love that you're doing that. Yeah, but it's the same thing. Again, if we take it down to everything is energy, nothing is solid. We know that. Not solid. Moving atoms, 7th grade science.
Yeah,
right.
We're all moving energy. So energy, as in just like air or Reiki energy or healing energy, whatever it is, it's the energy. It's how you direct it and guide it and work with what nature or whoever gives us.
So, and you said you've been doing things like that since you were young. Now, I had to retire after doing this for a while. I was a CNA, and I was a CNA with hospice for a number of years. And when I would be with a patient, and they were very declining, and I knew you'd get to where you knew this is going to be the last time you're going to see them. You know, they're totally unresponsive and everything. But I had just always, when I knew that time was coming, I would have my hand on their forehead just gently, and I would feel, it's like I could almost feel it physically, something from here, as I was focusing and directing this energy, this white light, not as a healing, because they're past that, but it's for, that beautiful journey, opening that door and going through. And I've been doing that for a long, long time. And then when and I've always thought Reiki sounds like a really neat thing, but then when I started really getting into it and reading about it, it's like, that's what I've been doing.
Exactly.
So it's like it's pulling me further and further into it.
And the more and more we let our intuition guide us, early man knew this stuff. Early man knew how to work and heal and do things. They knew to follow moon cycles. They knew create stuff on the full moon, waxing moon, add into your life, waning moon, release, the new moon, go deep inside. But we don't. We've got so modernized. Again, complete left brain logical focus. Lights are on, lights off, controlled temperature. We've gotten so far away from nature. So so nature's going, wake up, you guys. Number one, we got to take care of our planet before we blow her up. And number two, this is a gift for us with everything that we need. We have everything we need within our own human body and spirit and soul and planet. Yeah.
And it's just like, I feel like I just want to spread it around the entire planet, but but you're only one person,
Well, it's only one person it's a famous quote. Who is it? Gandhi, Asimov, I don't know. Don't think that one person can change the world. That's the only thing that ever has. That's a bastardization of it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Patti, this is we could go on and on. We can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. This has been such an honor. I would love that you agreed to appear with us again.
You guys are great host, great show. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we let you go, where can our listeners find you? Where can people reach out to Patti and any upcoming projects?
Things?
Yeah. I've got so many things coming up. Patti, the best place is to go to my website, pattinegri.com, PATTINEG, because from there you can get to all my social media. Please follow me. You can get to where you can get my books, both on the website and anywhere else. You can see my events. I list, like this week, I don't know when this is airing. I'm going to be in Ohio. Next week, I'm going to be in Maine, horror and paranormal horror. The next week after that, I'm going to be somewhere and then somewhere. So it's all listed. You could click into it. You could also find my regular podcast, The Witching Hour, which I drop a new one every Monday. My funny Witches Movie Coven, which is on Wednesday. And you could learn about my school, where you could, for $10 to $20 a class, learn to do all this yourself, because everybody can. And even my Paraflix. So that's my hold all to get to my legitimate. So lots of stuff going on. You could see me on video like every minute of the day.
That's awesome. Yes.
All across the country and across the world. Yeah. So come visit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Highly recommended.
Thank you so much again, Patti. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. You guys too. Keep up the good work. Thank you for what you do for us.
Awesome. Thank you. You have a wonderful, beautiful night.
Yeah. It's great seeing you again.
When you have it, and I'll give it to my team to get out and promote and all that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.